Hello guys and welcome to episode 2 of the Tools I Built with the Alibre API series. And today we're going to talk about drawings. Let's get to it. So I'm going to open an assembly. This is a machine that I actually designed for a client. The way it works is candies go through it, and there are a couple of foils. The candy goes through. A hot piece of iron comes down and welds the two pieces of foil, packs it, and the candy just moves along. So this is the assembly, and I want to make the drawing set for this assembly. And the way I do it and the way I send it to customers is a little booklet. So I have the assembly at the beginning with its bill of materials, balloons, 1, 2, 3 pages, however many I require, and they're numbered. And if I reach a sub-assembly, just put another sheet with an isometric view of that assembly, bill of materials, auto balloons, and then I go through the parts of that. So like a branch. And then, I print it all out and I send a booklet of drawings, right? All sequentially numbered, all of that. So how do you do that? Well, you go to send to and you make a drawing of this design. Okay, so you will name this ASCII drawing, and well, I'll say 1 to 1. We'll see what it comes up with. I want to make it as big as I can on the sheet, and now it will open up the drawings environment like so. And you know what? I only want this view. And it says 1 to 7. This is a very small machine. I think 1 to 5 maybe. I just plonk it in and wait for it to create that view. The way this works is, well, I think it needs to recalculate the face meshes, and then draws it for you on screen, basically. And there you go. And yeah, 1 to 5. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Oh, well, that works. That works. You can bring it in over here. Okay. Let's get rid of the centers. Yeah, this looks a lot cleaner. Auto balloons, bill of materials, so and so on. Says scale 1 to 3. In here it says scale 1 to 1. Okay, but you can easily fix that, and then you would go in and insert a new sheet. Okay, standard. I want to insert a new standard view, and I'll get the same menu back, and I'll have a drop-down menu of all of the active parts. However, I've only opened the assembly. Okay, and what that means is in that drop-down menu, I will only have the assembly. Like so. But I can go into this little folder. Okay, I'll go into the folder of the actual assembly and say I want this chassis top. Yeah, these 3 views will do. So again, right, and it comes in with a scale of 1 to 1. I'm not sure. That's probably my template. I don't know why it's doing that. But anyway, but this is a sheet metal part, so I need another sheet for its flat pattern, right? So on and so forth, and you keep building that. But I'm lazy. So here is where today's add-on comes in. Watch this. So you go to the add-ons, and now it's the drawing environment. So we only have ExM Drawings, Ex Machina Drawings. There's a pattern in the naming. Don't think about it too much. So you click this, and it does take a bit of time to load. Why is that? Well, because it will go through the entire assembly, find what parts the assembly has in it, what sub-assemblies it has, and it will create a list of these things. Okay, let it open and I'll show you what it has. Okay, so here's our list. Now I want to, reiterate, this does take a bit of time to load. Okay, and if it's a huge assembly, this only had 58 items. I've used this exact add-on in assemblies that had 150 items, 235 items. It does take a bit of time to load, but it does load, and then you have this. Okay, so the quantity, I like to see it. I'm not sure it's really required. The size. So this is actually the bounding box of the 3 views. We'll get back to that. Well, what type is it? Assembly, sheet metal, all that. If something is off the shelf, like a bolt or a nut, we don't want to be making a drawing for it. So we just click here, and a drawing does not get made for that part. And what's really cool is that you see here, this is pre-selected as off the shelf. How did I do that? Well, if you go into an assembly, into the file properties, you see down here, it says treat as part in BOM when used as a sub-assembly. So what this add-on does is for every single part that you have checked that, it goes and pre-checks the off-the-shelf here and does not make a drawing out of it. If you unselect it, you get the individual files, and you can have drawings of some of them, skip others. But if you select the sub-assembly, you see here it says type sub-assembly. All of them get grayed out. Okay, so you go through this and you tell it what you want to get a drawing of and what you don't. And I have a habit. Yeah, you see, now I forgot the split lock washer. Okay, let me not forget anything. Okay, again, here, sub-assembly. Everything gets grayed out. And that's on the valve. Don't want that, don't want that. I don't want the pneumatic pipes. I mean, yeah, I don't want that either. Bolts, nuts, washers, I don't want them. Okay, now let's go down here. These are the views. I only have the standard isometric in here. You can have the views that are created be with hidden lines, tangent edges, center marks, center lines, all that. Design dimensions, I have found that this helps a lot more than it hurts, so I always click it. This is the interesting part. Extra flat pattern sheet for sheet metal parts. So if a part is a sheet metal, which you can, it acknowledges it here. You see, it says sheet metal. So for that part, it's going to create 2 different sheets, one with a 3D view, one with the flat pattern, completely automatically. And the other part that I really like, view scale 1:1, and then reduce to standard scale to fit sheet. This is where the size comes in. So this is not the size of the actual part, right? This is the size that a 1:1 scale view set would take up on that sheet. And if that size is too big for the sheet that your template has, which in my case is an ISO A3 paper size, it scales it down in steps that are standardized by ISO. So 1:1 goes 1:2, 1:2.5, 1:5, and so on and so forth. And then you hit create drawings and you wait a bit. Again, this is not a very fast add-on, I have to admit, but in large assemblies, no question, this is a lot faster. And it's got a couple of niggles. I'll show them. Again, this is me vibe coding with Claude, guys, right? This is not Alibre production quality and level of polish. Okay, I'm not Alibre, but these are good. So it made a sheet. Okay. Made a second one, third one, fourth one. Okay, it's pumping through the sheets at a rate that I could never put them in. Plus, it's creating these drawing sheets in the same order that they are in the model tree. Okay, for what it's worth. It's creating duplicates for the sheet metal parts, not for the other type of parts. Okay. There you go. And for the sheet metal parts, in the flat pattern, you get the bend notes that are available in V29. You get those by default, right? Basically because that's the default setup I have when I'm making them. If you decide to get this add-on and it doesn't work this way for you, just go in there and change your defaults to be showing bend notes, right? Get a sheet metal part, get its flat pattern drawing, click that, hit OK, should be fine. Okay. And look, this is almost dimensioned just from the design dimensions, right? You know, parts like pins, like, you know, bedding seats and whatnot, they'll probably be done just from the design dimensions. And we're done. We've got our entire booklet here. There you go. Now, this was pretty quick for what it did, okay? So, little issues that I could not vibe code around. It starts with an empty sheet for some reason, okay? Which you then just right-click and delete. And you're in page 1. I don't really want this view display. I want it like this. It takes a while because it's a complex part. Okay, I made it shaded. That's why it took so long. Okay, shaded. That's fine. Okay. Now you will notice that the title block is not populated. Okay. By the way, let's check the scale. So this came in at a scale of 1 to 2.5. So the title block is not populated. Again, I don't know why this happens when you make the sheets through the API, but at least me vibe coding, I couldn't get it to populate automatically. So what you do is you just double click there. This pops up and you just hit OK. Now it's active and you go to design properties and you hit apply. But with all of that, look what you get. The scale is correct. Okay, so we've got 1 out of 24, and we'll go down here and we'll do the same. Okay, design, okay, populated, and with the correct scale. Now let's see, did it get the scale correct? If we put this here, and we put this here, and right, so you see what's sticking out is dimensions, right? It's not the actual part. And these are the design dimensions. They might not make sense in every single view, but the point is it gets the scale correct, right? I've already used it in 2 production projects, and there was not a single part where it got the scale wrong, although mathematically there is the chance to get the scale wrong. Okay, you go to the next one, double click, hit OK, design properties, hit apply, go in, correct scale. Let's find something that might have a different scale, right? Alibre. Okay, go here, hit OK, yep, apply. This is a 1-to-1 scale. Okay, let's check. Is this 1-to-1? Yes, it is 1-to-1. So if your template does not have this problem, this still saves time. For me, it saves a massive amount of time. And it also does sub-assemblies, as you saw, and it acknowledges sheet metal parts, and you get everything numbered nice and consistently here. So, for example, if you had a sub-assembly, you can tell the client sub-assembly so-and-so is from number X to number Y. And he only gets the drawings for that sub-assembly. I mean, I love it. and I built it to the specs that I work in my company. And I hope this helps you. So if you enjoyed this, hit like, hit subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.